Hello again. This is username Black Phoenix, and as I said before, I'm a liberated man. And today I want to talk to you about that, about liberation. What is liberation? And how do we all obtain it? Which is my goal for us all on this planet, to be free. Liberation, a movement seeking equal rights and status of a group. That is the term, the dictionary term for liberation. And liberation itself is spawned from the Latin word libere, and libere means freedom in Latin. So, what is freedom? Well, that's all in the eyes of the beholder. That is a perspective outlook. As I always like to say, freedom is painless. And that seems a contradiction to many people because, as Buddha teaches us, life is pain. So how can one truly be free in life if life itself is pain? The process of growing is a painful process. The process of dying, as soon as we reach a certain point in our lifetime, when we start destroying more cells than we are creating, we begin to die. And that's a painful process. And also the process of surviving, process of working, gathering food, even the process of love. All these things are painful things at times, sometimes very joyful, but always painful. So how can a person be free in life if life itself is pain? Of course, that's the paradox of it. You are not truly free in this physical body, in this lifetime, or in this time-space of existence that we consider to be life. In this reality, what is the sense of freedom that we feel here on earth and here in this physical manifestation, or this expression of our souls, of our beings, is the path toward freedom. And this feeling that we are given rights, this feeling that we are independent from one another, and this feeling that we can make our own decisions, we can make our own choices. It still comes a lot of responsibility with it. We still have to sacrifice for it, as you know, here in the United States, patriots always like to say freedom isn't free. To the degree that it is true. You have to pay for it with your tax dollars, you have to pay for it with your blood sometimes. If you're in the armed services, you have to pay for it in many ways. However, this is an illusion. True freedom comes in the hereafter. True freedom comes after this phase that we're living in now. So what we have to do now in preparation is to earn that prize claim, which is freedom, which is liberation. As we all know, life is a journey. It's not a destination. So freedom here and freedom now is the ability to make that journey. It's the ability to make that path. That's freedom to us as human beings. That's what we can experience as freedom. That's what we can experience as liberation. There are many obstacles to stop us from getting there. Many speed bumps, many traps, many things get in our way from being liberated, from truly being free. These are workings of what I like to call the enemy. And of course you've got the enemy and the entity, God and the devil. You've got many different pronunciations and many different belief systems built on what seems to be the path towards freedom and what seems to be the opposition towards freedom. And those are two of the main forces that play a part in our life. And this is all, again, part of an even greater phenomenon called duality, which I will cover in the future, I promise. However, these two forces are a factor on us, a part of us innately. As we are born as human beings, want to be liberated and want to be free, and then something always holds us back. What is this thing that holds us back? We call it Satan, or we call it Shaitan, or what we call the enemy. These are all reactions of energies we have projected out into the world, and not just one person as an individual. all groups of people, all people together, the collective, the combined energy that we emit into the earth, it comes back to us. This is the law of karma. And so the ancient Indians, the ancient Hindus, the ancient Buddhists, even the ancient Egyptians knew about this law. What goes around comes around. As the very ancient Egyptians used to say, or Phoenicians, as above shall be below. What happens in the heavens will happen in earth. So that is to say that your actions are projected upon the stars, and so shall they return to you. So, with this being said, again, back to freedom, back to liberation, it's about overcoming this opposition that we face, which innately is ourselves. And it's about overcoming ourselves, about overcoming our desires. It's about overcoming our lusts, overcoming our temptations. Sure, many people present these things to us. Many people put obstacles before us. But it is up to us to falter through these obstacles. It is up to us to allow a certain person to restrain each person as an individual. It is up to me to allow somebody else to take me out of my character, to allow somebody else to make me sad, to allow somebody else to restrain me. I make that decision, and it can't be done unless I willingly condone, or unless I willingly participate in these actions. And I refuse to. That's why I call myself liberated man. Whether it's in this body manifestation or whether it's another. So obviously this body is just a carrier, and it is not the end to our existence. All ancient societies realize this, and even the current practices of today, the current spiritual practices of today, realize that this body is not the full extent of our existence. So freedom comes afterwards. Now, about this enemy